Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Holly and I'm a portrait photographer based out of New Jersey. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Photoshop Generative AI feature, and I'm going to show you a few examples. So to start off, the first thing that you're going to need to do is actually download Photoshop Beta. This is not going to be available yet in Photoshop 2023. You're going to have to download a separate version of Photoshop, which is Photoshop Beta, as you can see up here right at the top. Once you have that downloaded and installed, you can get going. So I have brought up a studio image of mine. This is a client image. And as you can see, I just shot her on a very simple textured background with a shallow depth of field. So there's not really much going on in the background. It's really just about her. So what I'm going to do is, you'll see here now we have this bar that's already populated. And I'm going to go ahead and select subject. And since I want to change the background, I'm going to come into here and invert my selection. So now everything but her is selected. Now you'll see that generative fill has come up as an option, so go ahead and tap that. And here in this box is where you're going to type in and describe what you would like Photoshop to render for you. So since she's got flowers in her hand, there's a flower in her hair, let's say we want to put her into a flower garden. So I go ahead and type that in, hit enter, and it's going to begin generating 3 different options. Okay, so here's option number 1. It looks like it gave me some sort of leafy, mossy wall, so not necessarily a flower garden. Over here on the right hand side, you have your 3 variations, or you can toggle through down here on this bar. So let's go to number 2. All right, so now we've got some flowers, but not loving it. And I'm not entirely sure what this is. So now you have options. You can regenerate your prompt, or you can keep the prompt as is and generate again. And it's going to give you another 3 artificial intelligence renderings for you. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit more into that garden vibe, but I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Let's move to the next one. Some sort of wall with a shallow depth of field and a brick wall. So it's clear that my flower garden prompt is not working out so well. So let's change it to something else. Let's say rose garden. Okay, not so realistic. Not at all what I want. And a flower wallpaper, that's actually not so bad. It really picked up the colors in the original image. You can see that it's giving depth with putting in shadows here. This is not so bad. Great, I like it kind of as the wallpaper, not originally what I was going to go for, but this is still in beta mode, so you can't expect too much just yet. Okay, now for this one, I want to show you how you can use this to extend your canvas and also show you how this does differ from content-aware fill. So I'm going to come into crop and we're going to extend the top so I can get in the mirror. I want a little bit more floor. And then we're going to extend this to camera left, and I kind of want to make her right in the middle. All right. And then I'm going to select content aware here and just hit enter and wait for this to render. So now you can see it really didn't know what to do over here on camera left because it cut off right in the middle here. It didn't have enough to read from the existing image to pull from it. That's what content aware is. That's how it's differing from the generative AI. So now I'm going to take my lasso tool, and you can see up here at the top, this is fine. The floor down here is okay. I'm just going to come into the areas that need to be looked at again. And go all the way around. And generative fill. And leave that blank and just hit generate. And there you can see so much better. We've got a little issue up here at the top of the mirror, but over here, this is outstanding. Now let's go to see what number 2 gives us. Top, so much better. Over here, still fine. And what's number 3? Number 3, not bad. A little bit of issue up here. I think number 2 is the clear winner on this one. Okay, so now let's do an outdoor image. So very similar, not a lot of visually interesting things going on here in the background. The original capture was much more just about her, but let's make it a little bit more visually interesting with the generative AI. So this time, we are not going to select our subject and replace the entire background. We are just going to focus on a specific area. So I'm going to take my rectangular marquee tool and I'm going to come over to this side of the image and make a selection here. Again, put in generative fill, and I think I want a quaint stream. And let's go hit generate. And so now we have a little stream running through here. Changed this part of the backdrop a little bit, which I don't entirely love. So let's look at number 2. Okay, I don't mind this down here so much, but we would probably have to do something again up here. Let's look at number 3. And I happen to like that one. Let's run it again and see what happens. So here's number 4. Number 5 almost looks more like a little pond. And number 6 kind of has a little bit of a waterfall going on. So this one was pretty cool. Let's say, which one do I want to keep? I think I want to generate it one more time. Let's see what else I get. Okay, that one's really off in the background. This one has potential. And I think I like this one the best. Now, I sort of feel like we have a little too much negative space going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and duplicate my background layer and merge it with this generative fill layer. Let's say ruins. That's pretty cool. Let's move this sucker out of the way. I like that. Number 2, not so much. No idea what that is. Number 1, hit the nail on the head. So then let's shift and merge. And I think we have our completed one here. So now just play with it. Remember, it's still in beta, so it's not going to be perfect. You might have to try a couple of different things and have fun.